This message is brought to you by Public Health, Seattle and King County, the Washington Department of Health, Washington Chapter AAP, and Within Reach. No matter where your classroom is, whether in person or online, vaccinations protect your child from serious diseases like measles, mumps, and chickenpox, and they keep your child safe, healthy, and thriving. Need help finding a provider? Visit parenthealth123.org or call the Help Me Grow Washington hotline at 1-800-322-2588.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio App. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
1, 2, get down.
What's up, big and little homies? This is Masvita Maraire, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
See a bad
You probably have questions about COVID vaccines. Here are some answers about how they're being made.
How are COVID vaccines being produced faster?
Usually, vaccine testing and production are separate steps. But because of the pandemic, vaccines are being developed on parallel tracks. So both steps are happening just at the same time.
How are the vaccines being tested?
Right now, several different COVID vaccines are in testing. Each go through multiple clinical trials with up to thousands of volunteers.
How do vaccines get approved?
Not all COVID vaccine versions will make it to the final stages of testing and approval. Produced vaccines that do not pass clinical trials will be destroyed. But for those that do pass, a team of medical experts will examine test results and possible side effects. If the vaccine is effective and safe, it gets approved and gets to you. Go to covidvaccinewa.org to learn more. A message from the state of Washington.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Welcome to Real Estate and Money, a half-hour program on Rainier Avenue Radio World, designed to help you whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, or renter in real estate. Your hosts are two local professionals who will escort you on your journey. Violeta Strash, who has years of media advertising and marketing experience and brings this extensive knowledge to John L. Scott Real Estate and all our clients. And Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with Guaranteed Rate Affinity with over 28 years of experience. And now here's Violeta and Tina.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy 22222.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
Yes. It is a spiritually awakening day for everybody. So hopefully you're spiritually awoke. And before we go any further,
I'm spiritually awakened because it's freezing out here. Oh, you know what? I see snow flurries.
Oh, how cold is it in there? How cold is it out there, V?
Earlier it was 32 degrees. I don't know what it is right now. Probably around there because it's snowing.
Well, that's 8 times harder than it is here. It was 8 degrees this morning.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
I went to a closing this morning. I thought to myself, I got bottled water in my car, and all I got was a bottled ice in my car because it was that cold outside. Yeah. But
well, anyway, you got water. It'll thaw quickly.
Yeah, well, no, it was ice. So, but anyways, it's so good to see everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking again about the current updates in the mortgages and current updates in real estate. And we're going to be celebrating Black History Month, talk about a little bit about Seattle's history and things that you should know or things you probably did not know. So anyways, to start off,
and you know, you guys, Tina knows it all. She knows everybody, everything. She knows all Black History Month stuff. So I can't wait for that part of the show.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I know a little something, but
yes. Okay.
But, anyways,
Shall I start?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, folks. This week on our market update, we're looking at King County, first of all. The last couple weeks since we were not on the air last week, I'm looking at 414 homes actively out there ready for you to purchase here in King County. We had 598 homes sold in the past couple of weeks at an average price of $1,072,000, which is a little bit down from last year, but relatively flat. Last year's average was $1,074,000. So pretty even. Days on the market, last January, the end of January, we had 24 days, and it's down 7 days to 17 days on the market the end of this past January. So things are getting snapped up pretty quickly. And so we want to look at also the dollar per square feet here in King County. Last year it was $408 a square foot, and this year it is up $74 to $482 a square foot. In Pierce County, we are looking at 252 homes on the market. 364 homes were sold in the last 2 weeks at an average price of $607,000, which is a difference from last year of 8%, and it was $562,000 last year, the average sold price. Days on the market, 26 last year, 16 this year, so that's 10 days quicker. In dollars per square foot, 237 last year and 287 this year, so $50 difference in the dollar per square foot stats. For Snohomish County, active homes, only 170 homes, and sold 237. So whatever is pending gets snapped up pretty quick. And the average price of the homes in the past couple of weeks that were sold was $844,000, up 14% from last year's average of $742,000. Days on the market last year, 22 versus 13 this year, change of 8 days quicker. Dollar per square foot, 287 last year versus 358 this year. So imagine that. It's just really crazy out there. Tina, you want to talk to us a little bit about what's happening with the mortgages out there?
Yes. So while Daniel, you get that first screen up that I sent you, the mortgage rates actually, you can't really pick a certain mortgage rate. You can only really look at the trends. And as you see right there, thank you, Daniel, that's perfect. As you see there, you have April 2021, July 2021, October, January 22nd, and then the very end you have where we are at present day, which shows an national average of mortgage rates of 3.69. Now, what I want to bring to people's attention is, if somebody's walking in at October 21st rates, they may think, oh, hey, the rate should be at 2.875. Well, it was that October 21st. Even January 22nd, which was maybe 2.5 weeks ago, you can see the average rate was right around 3% or maybe 2.9 or somewhere of that nature. In the last couple of weeks, the rates have taken a giant hop, skip, and a jump. So now you're going from January 22nd with an average rate of like maybe 2.9. Now you're at 3.69. And that's as of a couple of days ago. Today, the rates are much higher. So if you look, when you ask for a mortgage rate, you want to look at the trend. And you can see right now the trend is going up. The Federal Reserve has already announced that they are going to be, yes, thank you, Daniel. You can see that the Federal Reserve has already came out and said they are going to be hiring the interest rates. So if somebody's sitting around and they're saying, well, we're going to wait for the interest rates to go back down, that's great. They have that option to do that. But all trends are indicating that the economy is getting stronger, we're recovering, and that the interest rates are going up. So Daniel, can you go ahead and scroll to that other link that I have there? So the other link that I just sent you is actually my personal webpage from Guaranteed Rate Affinity. And if you scroll down, Daniel, if you scroll down past the video and keep on going, that says I wonder if I am, keep on going. Okay, we have printed what our rates are, and there you go right there. So thank you, right there. That's perfect. So this is our average. Now this is Colorado and Washington State, and interest rates really depend on your credit score, depend on how much money you're putting down. So when that one chart says 3.629, we're a little bit, above that at the 30-year fix at 4.25. But this is as of today. As of yesterday, the rates jumped up again. So 15-year fixed mortgages are right about 3.625, 30-year mortgages 4.25, VA 4.25, and the 30-year fixed FHA 4.25. So that's where we're at. The day before yesterday, I was locking FHA loans at 3.6. That was the day before yesterday. This is how fast things are going up. Now,
It changes daily, right?
It's going up like this. It's not going up like this. It's going up like that.
Yeah.
And it's because we're recovering and the economy is starting to go stronger, and a lot of people are trying to recoup what they lost. A lot of financial institutions are trying to recoup what they have lost. Now, right here, I've got the rate on one side and I've got the APR on the other side. So the APR is actually the cost of not only the rate, but all the different fees associated with closing that loan altogether. So the APR is not your rate. The rate is your rate. The APR is basically a cost indicator. And I certainly could talk to you one-on-one about that a little bit later. But thank you, Daniel. That's all we need for the charts. But, so the rates right now, they're going up. Now, still, is 3.629 a good rate? Yeah. I remember I had a loan at like 8.2, and I had a loan at 6.2, and I had a loan at 4.7 last year. I had a loan at 4, but I'm a mortgage loan officer, VP. So 3.629 actually is a very good rate still. 4.25 is still a very, very rate. I was happy with the 4.75 rate last year. So I still say as soon as you can, if you're looking to buy or refinance, do that now. I know it sucks that the rates are at 2.75 as they were just a couple of weeks ago. However, that's fine. The rates are still good. And what we're finding out as a reflection of the rates is that even though people are, the rates are going up, there are more houses on the market because some people are withdrawing and they're getting kind of scared. So that leaves the door open for people who want to purchase. And there's not a lot of offers on the table.
Right.
So that's it. So that's it with rates. But so Violeta actually is going to be going through a special video project, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about that.
I'm not going to show you the video because I want you to go to YouTube to look at this. It's a special permission that I got from a client of mine who is doing a full main floor remodel from beginning to end. I want to show you the process as it progresses, and it'll be fun for all to see what's happening. I'm going to take you to the promo video where it's going to show the before pictures of the entire first floor before the remodel. And then in a couple of days, I'll start with the demo project. I'll go to the house and take a video of what each room has, what they've done to each room. And you will see, you'll go on this journey with me through a full remodel video. Call me if you have any questions about it. Call me if you want to know who I'm working with and what products are being used. So you will see demo, you will see installation of materials, and that it could take a while because there is still a supply chain issue delaying the delivery of products from cabinets, flooring, and appliances. So we'll see how long this remodel takes. It'll be interesting. You'll get tips on what to do or not to do. And you just determine if it's a do-it-yourself project for you or if you're actually moving into a new home. You can get some ideas on what would be kind of fun to look into. Okay, so how you get there is you go to youtube.com. On the search box, type in Violeta Strash Real Estate. So that's my name, real estate. scroll down. It's the second item on the list, and it'll say Bayview Remodel Video 1. It's the introductory video. And then henceforward, you're going to see the demo videos come up. So do like it, subscribe, and especially share with your friends and family and anybody that you know of who may be going through a dilemma of remodeling, and they'll get some great ideas, and they'll see me. So there you have
it. That's a win-win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's time for a break, Daniel. Yes. Then we'll be back with Black History Month.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts, Violeta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Right.
Okay. Tina,
right.
You are a wealth of information when it comes to Black History Month, and especially in this market. You were a huge part of the music scene because you're a singer, dancer, rock and roller. No, I don't know. You were very involved with the church and with groups here, and you've taken all that with you to Denver. But, let's talk about what's happened with Black History Month here in the Seattle area.
Yeah, thank you, V. Yes. So a lot of people don't realize, but I am actually half Black and half Filipino, and we have great big roots in Seattle as far as Black history. My family, the Lombard family, was one of the first African American families that settled in Seattle, down on Roy Street, many years ago after World War II. Black History Month is very important nationwide, but in Seattle, we do have our own history that is something that is a wealth of knowledge that we can actually learn from that we didn't know existed. So really quick, let me give you just a little synopsis of Black History Month in Seattle. February is Black History Month. That's why we're celebrating it today. It's the perfect time to highlight African American culture and the Black experience in Seattle. And there is also a counter of local events that, I'll send you Daniel in a second. But there's a lot of things going on in Seattle where you can go out and experience dance, food, poetry, politicians, festivals. And I do encourage each and every one of you to go out there and celebrate with the rest of our community because there's a lot to be learned. Now, in Seattle, my family came into Seattle because a lot of them migrated during World War II from Louisiana, or from the South, up to Todd shipyards because they were building ships, building boats for World War II. Mm-hmm. And of course, in the South, it was very racist. And in the South, there was the Great Depression was going on. So a lot of families had to migrate. And here in Washington State, they didn't ask you what color you were. They just asked you if you're able to work. So it's a big, profound number of immigrants from the South that came all the way up into Seattle. That's how my family got here. That's how a lot of families came here. And that was the first influx. Now, of course, there's a lot of degree of history where parts of Seattle, African Americans were not allowed to buy, as well as Filipinos. Filipinos, we'll get into that later, but Filipinos actually couldn't buy throughout the better half of the 1900s in the state of Washington. Now, Seattle, as far as African Americans are concerned, they were treated just as like the Japanese were treated, the Chinese, the Filipinos. A lot of the immigrants were not allowed to go into certain areas of town. They were discriminated against just prophetically and out in the open. And they couldn't buy certain houses like across the Ship Canal Bridge. Certain parts of White Center were called White Center because of nationality, and that's what they wanted to keep it as. There's this type of history going on. Now, Daniel, were you able to get those pictures up? Real quick? Okay. Now, during the 60s, this is the plight when it comes to home ownership. There's a series of pictures here, Daniel. You can slowly scroll through that. You'll see that we actually had to advocate and fight for our rights. We were not able to buy north of the Ship Canal Bridge. Now, here's a demonstration here with the signs and people out there trying to protest where we just could not buy. We weren't able to even be shown properties. Realtors were not even able to show properties to people in a certain neighborhood if you were of a certain color or a certain race. What other picture do you have, Daniel? The next one. Okay, so I mean, it was like it was a very profound event. It wasn't like, I don't want to show you that neighborhood. There was protests going on. There was violence. There were people actually like here being arrested. It was an actual full-out war as far as being able to buy in the city of Seattle and the outskirts of Seattle. What next screen do you have there, Daniel? Okay, so this is just, look at that. You see them right here in front of the Washington State real estate boards, and they're out there protesting. And then you got the next screen, on the screen, Daniel. Okay. Oh, here's me in the gospel choir. Okay. Okay. So let me stop you for 1 second here on this gospel choir. Let me tell you why this is so important. So here I am directing. That's the back of my head. But most of these people here have migrated from Louisiana, the great state of Louisiana, and these are the children or the grandchildren of those who migrated during the 40s and the 50s. And all of us actually went to Immaculate Conception Church, and that was designated as the African American Church, Catholic Church of Celebration in the state of Washington. And of course, my family being Black, we had a Black gospel choir there, and that's where we sang, and we were able to celebrate the Mass in which our culture expressed. Also, I was half Filipino, so there was actually a Filipino Mass at 9:00. But this right here, you see the different colors of people. We're all different races, but we were actually doing Black gospel in a Catholic church in Washington State from the 1970s, started in the 1970s. So it was very prolific. Most of these people here actually were home buyers. They bought their houses by Leschi and Montlake Cut on Capitol Hill. A lot of them came from Capitol Hill. So Immaculate Conception Church is at the top of Capitol Hill. This is how we migrated. This is reflecting the community and the home ownership that actually was in Seattle at that time. Are we done with the slides, Daniel? I think we're done with the slides. You got any more? Okay, yeah. So I kind of want to give you a flavor. There are still over 10,000 covenants on deeds in the city of Seattle that say racist remarks on there, that say that you cannot show a person of color or a person of a certain nationality or religious belief. You cannot even show them these houses. They are not permitted to be shown or permitted to be purchased by people of color. Now, of course, since the 1960s, those laws are not enforceable because federal law actually overcomes the local law, and so those covenants are not enforceable. There are still over 10,000 covenants, according to the University of Washington's data, where there are, if you look at your deed of trust, it says that people of color cannot buy this house. Okay, so there's a deep rootedness of racism that happened in Seattle. Now, luckily, we overcome that. We have overcome that. So you'll see certain pockets of Seattle, like the Rainier Valley. When I moved there during the 70s or the 80s as a young lady, as a small child, babe in arms, that was a population of a lot of African Americans and a lot of Asians, newly Asian immigrants. And that was in the 98118 segment of Rainier Avenue. And the reason why there was such a high density is because we weren't able to buy anywhere else. My family, John Hayes and Charmaine Hayes, their family actually bought north of the Ship Canal Bridge. And they were one of the first African-American families they were able to buy on the other side of the Ship Canal Bridge. And I want to say that was in the early 80s, late 60s. And they grew up in that neighborhood. So a lot of the neighborhoods in Seattle, the reason why they've got the flavor, or the reason why they have the culture is because they weren't permitted to buy anywhere else. If I'm correct, 98118 zip code is one of the most diverse zip codes in the United States.
Yes, that's right.
And that's not because we just all love each other and we're just all there one big happy family. It's because we weren't able to buy anywhere else. Parts of West Seattle, we weren't even able to go into those neighborhoods. Okay. So now I want to come back. That's part of Black history in Seattle as far as the home ownership side. There's a whole array of color as far as religion and demographics and careers and that sort of thing that happen in Seattle. But as far as home ownership is concerned, and what we want to concentrate on today on this show is, we weren't able to buy everywhere as African Americans, even as Filipinos. Filipinos were right there with the African Americans. We were on the same racist covenants. Right. We had banded together as a community, all different races, and Larry Gossett was very, very prolific in helping that. And there's other people in the community that were very prolific in getting fair housing to everybody. But we have banded together, and we made these laws come into effect where they cannot discriminate against us. And so now you're seeing different parts of Seattle becoming gentrified, if you want to speak, like Capitol Hill, First Hill, up there where Garfield High School is, and Garfield and Providence Hospital and Swedish Hospital. That's all becoming, like a montage of diversity of different people. There are other parts of Seattle that still can be intertwined even more so. But it's important for us to be able to know that we can buy in different neighborhoods now. When I was coming up, even in my 20s and my 30s and my 40s, there's certain areas of town we just avoided. We never even thought about buying there because it was a white center, because it was Federal Way, or it was because of West Seattle, or it was North Seattle. And we just thought we would never go to those neighborhoods because of the culture, which is unfortunate. But now, 2022, that has all opened up. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're trying to encourage people. There was a certain time in Capitol Hill where all the people who bought the houses during the 40s and the 50s, they paid off their homes, and now they passed away, and now their kids actually live in the house, and the kids actually couldn't even afford the taxes in Seattle because the taxes on those houses that were paid for were even more than mortgages. So that kind of cleared up a little bit. But we encourage you with Black History Month. There's certain neighborhoods in Seattle that you may not have thought of before as being a place of home that you never thought of moving into. You should. There's places now like Sammamish, you've got Federal Way, you've got Tacoma, you've got Mount Vernon, you've got different places, Snoqualmie, different places that don't have that stigma of racism attached to it. But we celebrate now that we have come a long way. And in the city of Seattle, no matter where you go, it is almost as diverse as 98118 was or is right now. So we celebrate that. So V, do you see any?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, tell us who your neighbor was over where you grew up.
Oh, okay. So my family grew up down Roy Street at the bottom of, I forgot the name of the street, but down there by Leshai and everywhere else. Quincy Jones's family actually lived kitty corner to my family, the Lombard family, very, very close. Yeah, very, very close. And, they went to our church. And, of course, we all went to St. Teresa and the Immaculate Conception Church. And we all knew each other. We grew up. And, Jimi Hendrix actually went to Garfield High School, Quincy Jones, Bruce Lee, all these different crazy people went,
Who was your next door neighbor? Who was your next door neighbor with the special looking window? Next door to your mom's place.
Oh, Fred Hutchinson. Are you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, so my mother actually bought the house. Fred Hutchinson's house was right next door to us. I think we were one of the servants' houses. I don't know, or something like that. But it was a huge house, but his house was enormous.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Yeah, there's just a lot of history in Seattle. There's a lot in the police department, the medical department, the politician, the lawyer department, the city councils, so on and so forth, and it all became relevant because we actually fought. There was a lot of people protesting, a lot of people doing cultural awareness, a lot of people fighting for our rights. And so Seattle actually is very diverse now. And so we want to thank everybody, all the leaders, everybody in the community that actually helped make Seattle a more diverse and a more powerful place to live.
And just so you guys know, for real estate agents, we are required to take classes on the Code of Ethics, fair housing, all that, just to make sure we are in line with what's happening. Verbiage from deeds and all that's being revised to take away those discriminatory remarks. Right, Tina? All over.
It's horrible. Well, I've been doing loans for many, many years in Washington State, and I can remember as recent as 6-7 years ago when I had African American families, my cousins, buying homes, and when the sellers found out they were Black, didn't let the appraiser in, or try to retract the contract, or decide to put their house off the market. This is fairly recent. This is like in the last 10 years. Discrimination still exists on loan applications. If somebody has a name that is obviously from a different country, or if they're Black or Indian or Hispanic, they get treated differently, very much so. I'm not quite sure as far as real estate agents are concerned, but I've had my real estate agents go at night so nobody can see their clients. Just crazy stuff like that. It's still happening today. No. Maybe not Seattle, but things happen in Kent, in Black Diamond. They happen up north. They happen in West Seattle. They happen in Rainier Valley, but they still happen. So just because we're diverse does not mean that we cannot still be aware that discrimination practices still go on, and we should remind ourselves and take yearly classes on equal opportunity, on fairness and equal lending, so on and so forth. So it's still very important.
Okay. Well, I think that's it for today. We've talked a lot, but thank you all for joining us, and we'll just call it time, and we'll see you next week at 2:30. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Daniel, for working on the videos.
To Real Estate and Money with your hosts, Violeta, Strash, and Tina Lombard. For more information, call 206-717-4490. That's 206-717-4490. Go to the Rainier Avenue Radio.world website to find the Real Estate and Money schedule, or tune in to our live show every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3. We will help you find your dream home.